Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Keep It Moving Podcast. I am your host, Novelty, and as always, to my left, I got Mike. I was about to say JT. I don't know. Maybe I miss JT.
You do. It sounds like it.
I don't know why, because I don't like JT.
That's what you say. What it do?
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going. It's going. That's really all I can say. I'm just ready for it to go.
Well,
and be over.
So my next question, of course, is how's your last week's been? But I guess it's been a few weeks since we did a show.
Yep, it has.
So
and we've had the Halloween.
Yes,
we spent Halloween at your place.
Yes,
you threw a little gathering.
That's why we didn't have a show last week.
That was fun.
Yeah. So it was fun until I had to pack up all those decorations.
Did nobody tell you to put all that stuff out there to begin with?
It was fun to decorate, and
so to put it out there is fun, but the packing up is what's not fun.
Man, 2 days.
Nope. If it's more than just like putting out 4 different things, I'm over it. I actually thought about putting my Christmas tree out yesterday.
Really?
I did. I'm not. Usually my Christmas tree goes up after
in February.
So right now just feels wrong. But even though it's right, I can't do it.
Yeah, it took me all day yesterday. That's what I did all day yesterday. From the time I got up to the time I went to bed, I packed up. But it's not so much the packing up of the stuff. You know, I had a lot of...
Do you cry as you do it?
Of course not.
I don't know. You be sentimental. Halloween.
You know, I had a lot of...
You had the big spider outside, the big web. You had a lot of stuff going on. The cauldrons all around the house.
I had a lot of stuff. But it's not so much putting it all up. I pack stuff up so in case I decide to move, it's already packed up. So it's all bubble wrapped and it's ready. No. If I got to move, all somebody got to do is go grab the tub and stick it in the truck, you know.
That's too much.
But so I packed it up good. It's not so much the packing up. It's where I have it. It's all the way in the back of my garage. Uh-huh. In a cabinet, which I'm technically afraid to go in because, you know, me and spiders. And so I figured once a year I could get myself to go into that cabinet.
You don't take like a broom or something with you to like knock down any cobwebs or anything?
I dress in rubber from head to toe.
Like a big condom.
Pretty much. Gloves all the way up to my elbows. And I take a broom with me, and then I go and I twist a little knob, and I jump back in case something jump out.
This would probably be funny to watch.
But it's never been a spider in there. That's the funny part. I've never seen one. So
you do all of this.
Spiders like to hang out in deep, dark places, and this is deep in my garage, and it's dark.
But is the weather, ain't it past time for spiders?
No, they still out.
Okay.
Not until we get our first good freeze will I not see spiders again, and we haven't had it yet. So, but that cabinet is behind a closet, one of those rolling closets.
I don't know what
you know,
mean.
For people who got a lot of clothes or for people who don't have homes with closets in it, you can buy those closets from Walmart and they zip up. I have one of those.
Something
out
you
in the
see
garage.
maybe in like a dressing room or something like that.
Right. I got one of those out in the garage for formal gowns.
Okay.
And it's in front of that cabinet, and then there's some other stuff in front of that. So I have to move my car out. I have to move that closet, and then I have to move all of that stuff out, and then I can get to the cabinet. So it's like I do it twice a year. I go into that cabinet 2 times a year, go in there to get that Halloween stuff, go in there to put it up. And you should have saw me walking through the house yesterday.
Where do you put your Christmas stuff?
My Christmas stuff is along the side of the garage. So it's not as difficult.
The fact that you know where all of it is.
Yeah, got to.
Okay.
It's not as difficult to get to, but it's along the side. So yesterday I'm going through the house and I'm like, okay, I got everything. I've labeled my boxes. I got them put up, got them in there, and I'm going through and I'm like, let me make me one more once over before I move this closet in front of the cabinet. You know, all that blood I had on the mirror in the bathroom?
Yeah.
It was all still there. And when I say I would have been pissed.
Well, I feel like that's something you probably could have just threw away.
No. Because then I got to find it again.
You could have got more next year. Oh, okay.
It's not as easy to find. Okay. So At least not all of those. I found some other things, but I didn't see any blood out there this year.
You said like the little rubber splatter that you had. Okay.
I didn't see any of that this year. So in case I can't find it. So luckily I caught it and I packed it up and I put everything up. And then I went and I saw Halloween stuff on sale 80% off. I'm like, and that's the only thing that kept me from buying.
Because you already got all
Because
that
I was
nonsense.
not getting ready to go back and pull all that out just to pack that stuff up for next year.
What did you end up doing with your friends? That brains pasta that looked like it looked.
No, she
gross.
took that home.
Did she?
She took that home.
Okay, I thought she was gonna throw it away right there. She didn't seem like she liked it.
She didn't. She said, "Okay, I won't be doing that again."
And it was like regular spaghetti or pasta.
No,
with
it was
like,
black pasta.
she's black bean. She made the pasta was black bean, but other than that, it was like
regular
regular
pasta.
But it looked so gross.
It was supposed to. She wanted to make something Halloweeny.
Yeah, and you see nobody touched it but you and her. That was it.
It wasn't. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't. I wouldn't eat it again, but it wasn't so bad. But nobody touched the brain Jello mold either.
Because we already had the Jello shots. So.
But y'all was looking for more Jello shots.
What we gonna do? Take a spoon and scoop it?
You were supposed to take a knife and slice off brain and eat brain.
Okay, no, that became too much. We just gotta. You just give me a beer. I'm good.
Oh, but other than that, we had a good little time.
Yep. We're always playing Heads Up. That seems to be we used to play
That's
Taboo
the
all the
go-to
time.
game. Yeah, now it's Heads Up.
Heads Up is the go-to game. And when I was, because I'm professional at giving out the clues. I've learned that this year. And so when I was giving the clue to Joe's wife, and the word was candle. Mm-hmm. And so I'm telling her, okay, you put these on a birthday cake, and they light up. And she was like, hummingbird. I said, okay, we're gonna come back to that.
We came back to a lot of things.
But that's not
put
it.
a pin in that. But let's keep going to get these points
because,
real quick.
You got 1 minute to guess. Get as many right as you can.
Oh.
I still don't understand where that hummingbird.
I just want you to remember that whenever she says Vanessa Hudgens' first boyfriend,
Zac Efron.
There you go. I don't care what we play it and how we play. I don't care if you know who Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron. Neither do I. But she always
who
gives
Zac
that
Efron is?
I think he do some little Disney stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think he does. Look, we both sound old. I can tell you that. If it's any kids watching,
I don't think I've heard those names before. The only time I hear those names
is in the game.
And she's usually
and that's why I said just learn it. It doesn't matter who they are, just learn it.
Right on.
Anywho, but yes, that's what we did for Halloween. But aside from Halloween, how's the last few weeks been?
I'm just busy. That's really the only way I can describe it. Busy. Yeah. That's.
Tis the season. Tis the season.
That's it.
I've been packing and now I got to unpack
the Christmas stuff.
Yep, it's that time.
You don't have to, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Actually.
So you want to be a girly girl?
I am a girly girl. I've always been a girly girl. I've never denied that. My neighbor, though, she told me this year, because last year I didn't put up Halloween stuff, because last year it didn't get cold. It didn't start to cool off until way after November.
So you were afraid of the spiders?
I was afraid of the spiders, and I was too scared to go back there and see spiders, so I just didn't do it last year.
Okay.
And this year when I started putting stuff up, she was like, oh, I'm so glad you put stuff up. I look forward to seeing your Halloween and Christmas decorations. I was like, oh, really? She said, yeah, we all do. I didn't realize the neighbors were watching me.
So it's become a staple in your
neighborhood.
Yes,
I've become a part of the neighborhood.
Right
so I will start, actually, probably this week, I'll start pulling out Christmas stuff piece by piece.
That reminds me, the laundry room is like 2 buildings away from here, but it's still in the same complex. And my brother and his daughter, took her to put some laundry in the washer. Some clothes in the washer.
There we go.
And then when they came back, she was upset, and she's like, "Why are there only Halloween decorations?" This was like a week before Halloween. Why is there only Halloween decorations out? I'm like, because Halloween is the next holiday. I don't see any Thanksgiving stuff and no Christmas stuff. People are crazy. I'm like, can you allow for Halloween to get here before people start decorating for Thanksgiving and for Christmas? She was ready for some other stuff, and she was tired of the Halloween decorations.
Stuff. Well, you know,
I thought that was interesting.
Maybe she won't decorate for Halloween when she gets older. Maybe they scare her.
Maybe. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, it's a possibility they kind of creep her out. I mean, because when I passed out candy, some little kids coming to my house was a little afraid to go up under the spider to get to the door.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, they might be a little scared.
And then you had the nerve to have that eyeball doorbell that you wanted us to push that we didn't even see.
Everybody was supposed to push the doorbell before they came in. But
you went all out.
It was fun.
Right on.
So we'll see what happens for Christmas.
You know, you would make a good old lady that lives in a shoe,
Really?
a good cat lady. I feel like
Really?
yeah.
A cat lady. I don't like cats.
But I feel like you would be good at it if you had cats.
I'd be good at anything I do.
Look at
you. You know.
Okay. Let me air that head out.
Anywho, moving on. So do we have a bae?
We do have one. And it's actually a repeat, but it's worth it. For Black Achievements and Excellence this week, we are awarding or honoring Simone Biles again, who added to her illustrious resume Saturday when she became the first American to medal in every event at a World Gymnastics Championship. And we had just talked about her maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, where she won gold in like 5 different events. She's just out here doing her thing. And then especially they say like at her age, like it's uncommon for it to continue to happen for people like this.
Really?
But she's
How old
doing
is she?
it. She's like 20. She's only 21.
Wow, at her age already.
Yeah. And she's still doing it. And you sent me one on Messenger about what's his name? Darius Washington, the 16-year-old who earned the perfect score on his ACT. But I feel like this is that was from 2016. I feel like we actually talked about him on the show.
Yeah, he earned the perfect score on his SATs and ACTs. That's like wow.
So we just going to throw him in there as an honorary mention again because I feel
2 years later,
I feel like we have actually honored him before. But shout out to Simone Biles as well as Darius Washington.
Woohoo! All right. Well. What are we going to talk about today? This is one thing I want to talk about. I am so tired of hearing grown people say, "I'm grown. I can do what I want to do." I can't take that no more.
But you do realize that they are grown.
But they do realize that they can't do what they want to do.
It depends on what it is. Well, they can. And it might come with consequences.
Yeah.
And repercussions.
I mean, think about it. I'm grown. If I don't want to go to work today, I don't have to go to work.
You don't have to.
But how my bills going to get paid?
Get you a sugar daddy.
Especially when they fire me.
Unemployment.
Give me a sugar daddy. That means I got to do things with the sugar daddy that the sugar daddy want me to do that I might not want to do.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Bottom line, nobody does what they want to do. If you have the money and you have the means, then there are people out there doing whatever they want to do and not really caring about the consequences, caring about the backlash, anything, saying what we see in this administration, saying whatever they want to say, just out here wilding and not caring about anybody or anything. It happens, and they probably are in the back of their mind saying, "I'm grown." Just like the lady that was confronting those 2 black ladies that were waiting on AAA because the car broke down. She was like, "I'm white, I'm hot, I make $125,000," and they arrested her.
But her thing was, "I'm grown,
and I can do what I want to do." That's my point right there. But she did what she wanted to do, and she landed somewhere else.
She probably wanted to.
Yeah. Well, if you want to live in jail, then she really ain't gonna be able to do what she want to do. She'll get up when they tell her to get up, go to sleep when they tell her to go to sleep, read a book when they tell her to read a book.
She likes to be controlled. But
Is that
the story that was going out today was that she was missing. I'm like, missing
from where? Who cares?
The police, I think, put this story out, or at least I read it on Atlanta Black Star. But then maybe a couple of hours later, the story had changed and it was updated that she had turned herself in. So I guess they were looking for her to arrest her or serve her or whatever. She finally turned herself in today. But did you see that video?
Yes. That's partially what prompted this conversation. I'm grown and I can do what I want to do. You can never, I don't care how much money you have. Ultimately, you cannot do what you want to do. Because it's a lot of things we all want to do in a moment, but like you said, it has a consequence.
But I feel like you believe that you should be concerned about the consequence, and not everybody is.
You don't, but hey, don't be concerned about the consequence. But when your butt land in jail, when your butt land dead someplace, people, I can do what I want to do. I'm grown, so they go mess with the grizzly bear. Are you kidding me?
And the grizzly bear say, I'm a bear.
I can do what I want to do. And now the grizzly bear done killed you, and somebody done killed the grizzly bear. Come on. You cannot do what you want to do.
You shouldn't live by that creed, is what you're trying to tell people.
No. I'm trying to tell people you can't do what you want to do. Consequence. Let me add this. Consequence free. There.
Okay. I follow.
Because if that's the case, when little kids, your mama telling you can't do it because I said you can't do it and you not grown, then that doesn't make sense. Then you get up and you grow up and now, I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. No, you can't, because now you don't have mama and daddy telling you what to do, but you got the law, you got the neighborhood, you got the neighborhood association. They tell you what you can do in the house that you bought and you paying for.
Mm-hmm. The homeowners association.
Like, yeah, it's always like somebody telling you
we don't like them decorations.
Your fence got to be this high. It got to be this color. I went into one neighborhood and your house could only be tan, gray, and a light, well, not a light brown, but like a brown, but not like a deep brown, not like a black people brown.
Okay.
More like a Mexican people brown.
Okay.
And it was like 3 colors, and I'm like, really, dude?
It's boring.
What if I want red in my house? Oh, no.
Your house is red.
Right. It's like, what if I want my roof to be a villa roof, a Mexican roof? Oh no, you can't have that. Like,
but some of that, sometimes it's like an eyesore. And I understand you pay for the house, you want to do what you want to do with it. But in order to not draw the property value down of everybody else's house, then sometimes rules have to be put in place.
My point exactly. You can't do what you want to do.
But you can. And then you can buy all the houses on the block. And then paint them all whatever color you want to, because now you
buy up the whole neighborhood. Now you the neighborhood association.
And can't nobody tell you nothing.
Look, young ladies, young men, grown men who always telling their wives, I can do what I want to do, or grown men, I think I'm leaving my relationship so I can do what I want to do. I guarantee you ain't going to do what you want to do.
So what do you think about people who say that you should respect your elders? Do you feel like that respect should come automatically, or do you feel like elders and older people should basically give you a reason to respect them, but that doesn't mean you have to disrespect them?
I think respect should come automatically, period, across the board, until somebody gives you a reason not to. I am very respectful to my elders. If I don't know you and I see, I
feel like that's how we are raised.
Right. That's how we were raised. That's how I was raised. If I see an old lady and I think she needs help carrying a whole bunch of groceries or something, I'm quick to say, here, let me help you. Do you need help to your car? Da, 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 da. Now, if she looks at me and says, yo, old nigger, get out the way, then respect God. Respect God. But
do you push her down at that point?
I don't know, because my mama raised me better than that.
I feel like some people need to be pushed.
No, my mama raised me better than that. But, I respect at that point is then she becomes that bitch right there. Mm-hmm. That's what she becomes. But, otherwise I'm that's the way I am. That's the way I was raised. That's the way I raised my nephews. I think you should not only respect not only your elders, but respect each other. Respect your parents. I hate to see little kids talking to their mama and daddy like,
oh my goodness,
like they less than them. I'm like, a 2-year-old telling her mama what to do, and all I'm thinking is she too.
All those kids you used to see on Dr. Phil just wilding out, smacking their parents. It's like, or in the grocery store throwing a temper tantrum, and you want to just tap their parents on the shoulder and say, just can I have 1 minute? Can I have 1 minute
with them? Can you look
them?
the other way for just a little second, I'll make sure that this don't ever happen again. But we got to start, we have to bring back respect. A lot of people feel like I don't have to respect you until you show me to until you make me respect you, until you give me something to respect. Like, no, you got to respect everybody. You got to, and most importantly, I used to have this teacher from 6th grade to 8th grade. She was a teacher in my junior high. And if you were acting a fool, she didn't say you need to respect that person. She would always say, respect yourself, love. Mm-hmm. Respect yourself. And to this day, I remember that.
I guarantee you a lot of people don't look at disrespecting other people shows a lack of respect for yourself. I don't think people see that. That's a good point to bring up.
I mean, and she used to say that all the time. And to this day, that's all I remember here. And when I think about Miss Glenn, respect yourself, love. That's all it was. And she rings in my head every time I want to say something I know good and well I don't have no business saying, or I want to do something I have no business doing, even to this day. And I am 45 years old. She rings in my head, respect yourself, love. We do not respect ourselves. So I make sure that the first person I respect every day is myself. The second person I respect is my mom, because I am a reflection of her, whether I like it or not. Right. I'm a reflection of the job that she did. And then I remember everything that she taught me. Respect your elders, respect the people next to you, respect your friends, be there, be a good person. And no matter what God you believe in, no matter what afterlife you believe in, you got to have a moral code. If you don't have a moral code, you don't have nothing.
And it's seeming to me that a lot of people are getting away from having a moral code, especially if you're watching in the news, if we're seeing this current administration and the vitriol that they're pushing and putting out there. It's like they're trying to get people to understand that you don't have to respect people. You don't have to, have a moral code. You can be whoever you want to be.
We teach people to be selfish and be okay being selfish.
Self-centered and hate. And it's like, how is this the mantra that we want to push forward as a United States of America? Like, we know how we got here, but you still want to ask the question, how did we get here? How did we allow ourselves to be put in this position?
I think the question is still there. How did we get here? Because, I know how we got to this administration, but it's like even before that, everybody says, America, this is not America. The reality is, this is. You're just not seeing it from from a person of color's perspective. A person of color, this is America. This is what America has always been. Racist, selfish, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. This is what America has been. But I can see there's something that happened it's that baby boomer generation. Their parents believed in country. Their parents believed in raising children that respected their elders. Their parents believed in business, having businesses of your own and building yourself up, the so-called American dream. Mm-hmm. Then them baby boomers came. And something happened with that generation. My mom used to always tell me, your generation is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I would always tell her, you raised my generation. Your generation raised my generation. So something, it was somewhere in that there was a disconnect
that no one saw or
and nobody. I don't think anybody. We didn't see it. I think part of it is the baby boomers changed history. They changed technology. They made massive changes. They even changed the way old age looked. Think about it. When you see a 60, 70-year-old woman now, she's not sitting on the porch, rocking in a chair, drinking her lemonade. Or tea. Yeah. Right. She loved to be out in the club. She's on a boat having a party. Yeah. They changed how we looked at everything. They really did. And the changes that they made were not necessarily bad changes. I think it's just somewhere in there, they taught us to be for self instead of for each other. And that's part of the problem. We are now for self. Everything's about me. We look at voting as what it does for me instead of looking at the big picture. We look at everything about me. How does this affect me? I'm going to go in my house and I'm going to do this and I'm going to put up this and this and this. But you don't think about, well, what about my neighbor? If I put this here, my neighbor might not be able to park in their driveway, or they might not be able to get in and out of their driveway as easy. Or I might be blocking the sun from her porch where she got all those plants. We don't think about other people. And now, don't get me wrong. When I put all that Halloween stuff, I didn't think about no neighbor's plants. It was in my yard. I put it in my yard. But I did think about when you come down the street, what does it look like? How do I look compared to the rest of the neighborhood? You know, I did put a little bit of thought into what I was doing. I don't think we do that anymore. Nobody does that. You know, and then we keep to self. See, before the baby boomers, nobody kept to self. Everybody knew their neighbors and everybody talked. Now we keep to self. So now we got a problem. I don't like my neighbor. Why don't you like her? She just looks funny to me. You don't know her? No.
Sometimes that's good enough.
And don't get me wrong. When my neighbors moved in, I watched. And them people unpacked for 6 weeks. I mean, and when I say unpacked, not just unpacked they stuff. They had trucks coming for 6 weeks bringing stuff. And I was like, good God, this house is not much bigger than mine. And so I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they hoarders too, probably.
I don't know what they are, but I mean, and you pass judgments.
Yeah.
And had I not spoken to my neighbor, my judgments would have stuck. You know, I've got the neighbor to the right of me who also moved in after I did. And have you ever seen The Burbs?
Is that a movie?
It's a Tom Hanks movie.
Nope.
Well, he has a neighbor, and these neighbors keep to themselves, and they come to find out these neighbors are killing people.
Okay.
It's a funny movie, but anyway.
I think that of most neighbors.
Well, that was the thing with this neighbor. When he first moved in, they never came outside. I never saw him do anything. Every blue moon, I would see him come out and run the lawnmower, and that was it. I never saw them, and so I used to think he reminded me of that family. I was like, okay, he gonna have dead bodies in there. But eventually, the mailman delivered mail to the wrong address, and I had to take it over to him. And when I took it over, I met them. And it you know, once you start putting faces and names to people, you start feeling different about people. And we need to do that with our neighbors again, because no neighborhood is completely white. No neighborhood is completely black. No neighborhood is completely Mexican. It's always something sprinkled in there. And maybe if we just got out and met our neighbors, there wouldn't be so much hate. You know, have you ever had a white person tell you, I don't like black people, but this black person is okay?
They don't really say to me that they don't like black people, but I have come across white people who don't know any other black people besides me or, you know, somebody else. Well, they can name the black person that they know, which is kind of odd. Well, it's not really odd. I can understand if they grew up in a neighborhood that didn't, or went to a school that was predominantly white, the black person that was there wasn't in any of their classes. I can understand them not knowing about black people. You know, I still don't give them a pass for that, but I do understand.
Right. Well, I mean, and it's crazy because, black people are hoodlums, but this one, he's not like that. No, he's not like that because you know him. And if you got out and you met the other ones, you would realize that what you see on TV is not reality.
Right.
And so we just got to, I think if we start opening ourselves up to getting to know one another. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't trust that feeling when your hair stand up on the back of your neck and say run. I'm not saying don't trust that. Hair stand up on the back of your neck. Say that neighbor is crazy. Lock your door.
And run.
You know, stay away from the neighbor. But just when you meet people, like, it's a lot of young kids in my neighborhood. And my neighborhood was full of old people. That's kind of why I liked it. I was the only person making noise. It's like, I ain't got to hear nobody else's noise but my own. And now it's a lot of younger people showing up in my neighborhood now. And I see kids walking down the street. I'm like, where these kids come from? Wasn't no kids in my neighborhood. But now my neighbor, when I moved in, they didn't have any kids. By the time 3 years later, they had 3 kids. It was like every winter she would go in the house, and every summer she'd come out with a new child. So
she's doing what she's supposed to do.
So hey, but you know, but now we got a lot of little kids. So you know, you just kind of, at least I know the people right around me. I might not know the people all the way up the street and all the way down the street, but I know the people right around me, and we talk. And I think I'm the only little black thing there. Yeah, I am.
I can believe that.
No, so when, 45 got in office, I was a little scared that they was going to come lynch me.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because I'm like, this is where I'm about to see the true color of my neighbors, because they was nice, but you just don't know.
Right.
And so I was a little scared, and nothing changed. They still, hi, how are you? Watch out for me. Somebody's at your house and all that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about my neighbors. So now I worry about my mama.
And her neighbors?
Yeah, she out there with them rich white people.
Oh, okay.
They really might get her. So I done told her she need to put up cameras. I don't know nothing about her neighbors, but she need to put up some cameras.
I mean, does she know about her neighbors?
I assume so. I guess so. She lived there. She knows them. My nephews go and play with some of their kids. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming they okay. But hey,
you still can never be too sure.
There you go. Because a friend of mine pointed out, black people, when they don't like you, they just kill you. White people, they chop you up, put you in jars in the garage, so you never know.
When do black people kill you?
When you step on their shoes.
No. Well,
when you having some happened. Beef,
That's
it was a school shooting in.
Yeah, you told me about this. It was recently.
Charlotte.
Did you text me the place? Because you just texted me about this, and you were saying when you heard it was like one person got killed.
I knew it was a black person.
You figured it was a black person.
I mean, and it's crazy how I watch the news, and when they say school shooting, 15 people died. I'm like, okay, somebody's white kid. And then I hear one person died. I'm like, that's a black kid. I knew immediately because black people kill the people they mad at.
Versus everybody.
Why? Whereas these, and I don't want to say white. I hate to say white people and black people because I hate to put it all on a race and create another stereotype. But unfortunately, these white people go in and kill everybody. Anywho, I digress. I don't remember. I want to say it was like Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, one of them Carolinas. That's where I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure. But immediately. And that's how I read the news.
Was this the one that I guess the guy was being bullied?
He was being bullied, and the bully shot his bullier, I believe, which is sad in itself. But unfortunately, I'm like, okay, these was two black fools right here. These two black kids. I knew it. Yeah. The guy that was sending the bombs, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's a white man. And then that's when you get to praying as a black person. Please don't let this be a black person. Please don't let him bring us all down. Please, Lord, don't let this be a black person. And it's sad that those movie stereotypes are true because we do that. We do. I told my best friend's mom, and she said, "What color was he?" That's the first thing we ask when we hear, "What color are they? What color are they?" And unfortunately, we have to do that instead of saying "crazy's crazy."
Yeah, well, because we know crazy is crazy, but you just don't want to be associated.
Right,
with that
you don't
crazy.
want to be associated with that crazy.
And even just because one black person does something doesn't mean that we're all associated. We just don't want.
Just don't want them to associate it with us. That's
because
all.
we know how the media works. And like here lately, I've been paying more attention to. Like news headlines and how they will use specific terminology when dealing with a white person who goes and shoots up a school, and all of a sudden we're talking about the mental illness. Like that immediately comes out. And when it's a black person, they're pulling up pictures of them drinking, pulling up pictures of them smoking, and all this bad shit that they wrote on social media or whatever. Like that's just how it goes. And it makes me also look at the movies that I watch. And I've gotten to the point where I refuse to watch certain movies that paint black people in this stereotypical negative light. Like we just got to be the abusive ones. We got to be the ones, if it's a bank robber. I know they do have white movies where the bank robbers are white, but I don't want to watch the ones where the bank robbers are black. Like I'm over that because I'm tired of us perpetuating those types of stereotypes versus painting us in a more positive light, because that's not the majority of black people. Just like I know that's not the majority of white people, but that's kind of what I guess sells in entertainment, and I don't like it.
And this right here is privilege. It's the definition of privilege. White people don't have to think about this stuff. They don't think about this stuff, but black people on a daily basis not only go out thinking about what they're doing and how what they're doing could be perceived, but now they're also thinking about how what somebody else of the same race is doing and can be perceived, because it rolls back on the entire race
community,
versus rolling back on the people who that did it. Because the guy who shot up the synagogue, every white person didn't do that.
Right.
Now, black people, of course, would never blame every white person for what that fool did, but the media is not either. Whereas if it was a black man that walked in and shot up that synagogue, I mean, look at how they talk about Farrakhan.
Right.
Like he's the be all end all of black people. And quite frankly, I disagree with probably 80% of what Farrakhan says. Maybe even 90. Farrakhan needs to take a trip to Mecca.
Okay, I don't disagree with that much. And I will say at the anniversary of the Million Man March, I agree with a lot of what he was saying. And it reminded me of, I think we talked about this, that the play that we went and watched that JT and his friend were doing. It reminded me of a lot of what Minister Farrakhan, his teachings and what he says that black people should like work towards doing. So I don't disagree with that much, but there are some things that he puts out there that I'm like, I feel like you're trying to basically start a race war sometimes, and I'm not really on board with that.
I think I disagree with so much because I know where it comes from. Malcolm X was the same way when he first came out, and it's because of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. And Elijah Muhammad taught black people that they were the superior being. That is exactly what he taught, and he did it for a reason. It wasn't until he was old and about to die or getting ready to die. I think it was at the point when Malcolm X made the pilgrimage to Mecca that Elijah Muhammad explained why he did what he did. He said that black people in this country had been taken from them.
So
they needed to be given something and needed to feel something in order to rise up. So he was trying to get black people to rise up. At this point, there's no reason to continue to teach that teaching. I don't think black people are any better than any other people. The reality is God made all people. If you follow the teachings of the Bible, God made all people, right? So black people are no more superior than white people. White people no more superior than black. We got to figure out how to get along in this country.
I agree with it. We do have to figure out how to get along because we're here.
Right, because we're here. And a Farrakhan is not going to help that situation. But like I said, you agree with a lot of what he says. I disagree with pretty much the majority of what he says, because the majority of what he says is rooted in that black people are superior thing. And what did the Jews do to him that he comes out against them so strong? It's like, dude, back up. Mm-hmm. So I have a problem with him. However, if he's sitting next to Bill Clinton, I don't think automatically Democrats support Farrakhan. Where does that come from?
That's the spin.
It's like,
that's
what
just how
does that have to
works.
do with anything? We got to find a way to start having conversations. Number one, between mixed races without getting angry, because don't get me wrong, they get me there. But we got to learn how to not only talk to one another, but we got to start listening to one another. I was talking to my neighbor the other day, white man, lives across the street from me. And we were just talking and he's telling me about his problems. And so I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. No, I got this bill and they done raised this and they done did this. I'm like, we're both in the same boat. And he just looks at me and he says, and we not the same color. Like, that's the point. We are living and experiencing. Yes. Okay. We are living and experiencing the same things, but we're not the same color. So it's not about race. and that was his point. It's not about race. It's about.
That's a weird thing to point out.
It is about color though. It's about green.
Yeah.
Not brown, not black, not white. It's green. And it was pointed out because we were having a conversation about race, and then we got to talking about the conversation about race was way before.
Okay,
and then we got to talking about something else and got into it, and then he points out we not the same color. I'm like, you know what? We need to take our act on the road, you know. and that's the thing. Once we realize we have more in common than we have that's different, because my grandma eat chitlins.
A lot of people do.
And pig feet. And my grandma's white though. So that really don't help matters. But my point is,
she's from the South?
Yeah. She's from the South. But my point is, she may eat those, but that's not all she is. That's not who I am. Just because I have a cultural diet that fits along with black people doesn't mean that I'm this thug that you see on the street. First of all black people are not thugs. Most black people are not thugs. We've got idiots, just like white people have idiots. Y'all's excuse is mental illness. We don't have an excuse. We don't give it an excuse. They just stupid.
Yeah, that's them.
That's stupid.
Just whoever committed the crime.
They stupid. You know. We just got to do better. I think we could all do a little bit better. And I think it starts at home. Let's stop saying everybody else got to do this and everybody. No, it starts at home. What are you doing? When you go out your door, what are you doing?
Is there a limit to the amount of times you will have the conversation with the same person?
Depends on
like about you talking to your neighbor and they're just not understanding why black people feel the need to do this or black people feel the need to do that.
If they get to a point where I feel like they're not listening, they're not trying to understand, then yeah, I'll be like, okay, this is the last time we're having this conversation because you're not trying to understand. And I'm blatant with it. I tell them, we are not going to have this conversation anymore because you are not attempting to understand. And then you and I become, well, literally neighbors. You just over there, I'm over here. Right. I'll look out for your house because I don't want them breaking into your house and coming in and breaking into mine the next.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll do stuff like that, but you and I won't have too many more conversations after that. So, yeah, I think there's a limit. There's a limit to anything. It's not just about talking. It's about listening. You got to listen and you got to try to understand. And if you're not going to try to understand, what's the point of me yabbing at the mouth?
And that's where I feel we are as far as the political realm right now. You know, it's a lot of people talking, but people refusing to listen to understand because all we want to do is be able to throw out our talking points. And then you need to hear what I'm saying. And I don't care what you're saying, like from both sides.
If I could reach into my TV, I would strangle Meghan McCain. I really would. But
that was your girl. Like
no. I said I agree with a few things she said, and I
that
still
entire episode you was like Meghan McCain.
No, I was
you
never.
You were dressed like her and everything. You didn't do whiteface, but you didn't do whiteface, but you still.
Anywho, no, did not. No. I mean, she makes one good point consistently. Elections have consequences.
Yeah,
they do. If you ain't seen them that yet, you've been living under a rock.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some things. It's like they start to have a conversation, and it's like we done had this conversation 12 times, and you still stuck on the same thing. Like how she feels about the flag and kneeling before the flag. She thinks it's disrespectful. My family, da 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 da. And Whoopi has said over and over and over again. But do you know my family served too? When they came back, they wasn't even acknowledged. You know, black people have been serving for years. Some people came back and were still slaves.
Right.
And it's like she doesn't even attempt to acknowledge that.
And
so
that's the issue. That's the
right.
problem I
and
have.
That's the problem. So if I feel like you're not even trying to understand, then I'm turning you off. I don't need to have a conversation with you anymore because you're not even trying to understand. But if I feel like there's one lady at my job, and somebody said that if ISIS, every member of ISIS was considered to be a Muslim, then every member of the KKK is a Christian, which that's true. KKK, these are Christians. The whole name, every part of them, they are a Christian group.
Is that a thing?
The KKK?
No, I know the KKK is a thing, that they're all Christian.
They're a Christian group.
Or is that just an assumption?
No, they were a Christian group. They preached Jesus. They preached the Bible. They were a very Christian group. So it was like ISIS is to Islam as the KKK is to Christianity. And a white woman, oh my God, how could you say that? Well, how could you group all Muslims in the same realm? And so we had a conversation.
Uh-huh.
And after a while, she was like, okay, I see your point. Maybe I am looking at this the wrong way. That kind of person I can talk to.
Right. I agree.
But the person that refuses to step out of, somebody told me once when we were debating, if you were in the middle of a debate and somebody takes you off topic and makes you start believing in what they say, then you lose the debate. I'm like, how does understanding somebody else's point of view become a loss? How does understanding somebody else might know something that you don't know?
That's true. But if you're getting judged on,
if you're getting judged on the debate,
then you kind of.
But this wasn't debate class.
They drew you over to their side,
right?
So okay.
But life is not debate class.
True.
Life is life. Now, if we in a court of law, then I expect you to be in your spot and him to be in his. But we're not in a court of law. This is life. And you got to be able to draw into somebody else's opinion, and you have to be able to draw someone else into yours.
And watching like the CNN political commentators, Fox News commentators, which I don't watch, but I do see clips every now and then.
Right.
MSNBC, they all do the same thing. And I feel like for all of the commentators, it's like debate class.
Right.
Because everybody wants to spew their talking points, not really listen to the other side. They listen to respond versus listening to understand. And we seem to get nowhere. and then we're on to the next topic, the next segment.
It's funny because that's where fake news came from. That's where fake news is based out of. It is not based out of your local news program you watching on for ABC, CBS. That local news that talks about the weather in your city. That's not where fake news come from. Fake news lives in 24-hour news. That's where it lives. CNN, Fox, MSNBC, because all they do is news. What I think they should do from here on out is there needs to be a bug, and a bug, for anybody that doesn't know, is that little icon that sits in the bottom screen of your TV or even in the top in some area of your TV, and it tells you what channel you're watching. So you might see the little CBS eye, or you might see the little ABC logo, but it's kind of like transparent. So you're watching your show and it's just there, and you don't really pay attention to it. But when they come on, and during their show, it needs to be a crawl or a bug or something there that says, this is an opinionated news show. These are their opinions. And a lot of them are like us. They just grab news stories and they talk about them. Now, I know good and dang on well, if you listen to this show, you better not think this is real news. We talk about real news stories. But
we're not reporting.
We don't have journalism degrees. We ain't never put boots on the street. Nothing like that. Don't come to us for news.
Yeah, this is our commentary.
This is us being silly. And that's what it is for them as well. This is just them talking. So like you'll see the Don Lemon show. Or the Bill O'Reilly show. Well, I guess you can't see him no more. Sean Hannity show. These are opinionated shows. They talk about what they think is happening and what they believe and how they believe this story has affected everybody. That's what they talk about. It's easier to be able to fact check and justify the national. And then when you start watching CNN, when you start watching MSNBC, then the story itself might even be true. You got to go look into what they said. I go look into them CNN stories I share. It's not like I just throw CNN up. No, I'm like, oh, okay, then I'll go look. Is this story true? So just look at your news. But we need to start doing that and start knocking out this fake news, because it is real news that people are missing. I hate to see people sit up and say Trump didn't say such and such and such and such when I literally just watched him say it, and they've been playing it all day long. And
if you give him 5 minutes, he's going to repeat it at another rally.
But that's fake news. Did you not see it? They doctored that. Oh, okay. I gotta, at that point, I gotta walk away from you now, because you're not even trying to
exactly. And those we're getting more and more of those types of people these days.
And that's why I'm saying, if you need a source that you can trust, go to your local news. Anywho, did you see that episode of Dr. Phil with that little girl who claimed she was white, and the color of her skin said she was black, and her mama said she was black too?
Well, because her mama can see her,
and her mama was black.
Her mama was black. Yeah, you talk about Treasure, and I guess she was trying to pull like a Rachel Dolezal. I feel like Rachel did hers a little bit. Rachel didn't expose herself.
Y'all don't like Rachel Dolezal. Quite frankly, I like Rachel Dolezal because you know what? She wanted to be black, and she lived like she was black.
She did. And did we talk about the Rachel Dolezal little documentary that was on Netflix?
I don't think so.
Okay. I will say I watched it. I was actually intrigued, and people were thinking that it was going to be like a fluff piece to make her look good. I don't think they attempted to make her look good at all. Like she looked foolish, but it was intriguing. Like I enjoyed the story, and she's a really good artist. She can draw her ass off. But besides that, I think a lot of people were upset. A lot of people about Rachel Dolezal was the fact that she was trying to do things for black people, which was good. But we felt like, people felt like she could have gotten a lot more done if she would have just been herself. Because as a white person, a white woman, you have more opportunities, more privilege, instead of trying to be who you're not.
I'm telling you now, I like Rachel Dolezal because she was true to the game. She said she wanted black people's privileges, and she wanted a black life, and she lived a black life.
And one of the final things on the show is she went and got her name changed to like a African name.
Hey, she always welcome in my black group because she's willing to accept the good and the bad. Like that man out in Seattle that just want to get his little money.
Oh, because he's like 1%.
Yeah, he's like
African-American
1% African American wanting his little money. No, if you want to sit here and you want to live like black people, then come on over.
But going back to Treasure, I think the problem with her was that she's on this show and she's basically perpetuating all of these negative stereotypes about black people, about black features, and about how black people are thugs and how black people are ugly and black people have big noses and I'm white because I don't have any of that. I don't talk like them. I got normal ears. My hair is not kinky and nappy. Like it was so over the top and
Treasure.
So far-fetched.
Treasure got a perm or Treasure using a straightening comb because Treasure's hair ain't like that.
Yes,
I can tell that
it looked like she may have
she doing something to her hair
or something like that. She don't wake up like that,
and that's what she want. My lips ain't big, baby. Your lips wasn't small.
She's like, they're not big, they're not small, they're just right.
I think my lips is just right, and they're a little bit bigger than yours. And I like, from what I understand, men like big lips. I didn't make the rules, like you say. I didn't make the rules, but the little girl is so much.
It was ridiculous.
At first, when I heard, Dr. Phil, what made me watch it is I saw an interview with Dr. Phil, and he started talking about her, and he said, I was trying to get this little girl to understand because they gonna kill her. That's what he said, and I was like, Dr. Phil just said that. That's very odd. He's like, somebody's going to kill her. And so I said, let me check this out. And then she got to talking about black people. Black people are stupid. They thugs. They uneducated. I'm like, this little girl, if I could reach through this TV, I'd knock her out. I really would.
I can understand. Because, like, even if this is what you believe, you don't go on a public platform
say that
and disrespect people just because you don't feel like you look like them or you're not them. And I said,
I'm white. I can feel it in my blood.
And then talk about how she got the KKK on speed dial or something like that. Like who talks like that? It was just so over the top that I think most people believe that it was fake.
Most people think it was fake, and I've heard that a lot, but I've never seen Dr. Phil do a fake show. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. He could be rolling into that arena, but Jerry Springer, he has never been. So it's hard for me to believe right now that it's a fake show. But this little girl, I blame my mama.
Yeah, well, the mom was saying that she's been this way or felt like this since the age of 5. So you had ample opportunity to get your daughter together, at least to the point where she's not disrespectful. She can believe what she wants to believe, but you don't have to put down another race of people or your race of people because you feel like white people are superior. And I think the reason that a lot of people are believing that it's fake because a lady came out alleging that they were sisters. It's saying how all of this was fake, and the mom and the sister, like she knew they were going on Dr. Phil, but they wouldn't tell her why. And then she was saying how she dropped out in middle school, like she's a thief and all of this, and then someone uncovered her old Instagram page where she was talking about the plight of black people and how the police are killing our black men and, black
the
lives
little girl, the mama.
Treasure, the little girl. And this was back in 2016. So if this started when she was 5, she must have forgot during that little era.
Look, this is all I know. I watched somebody's video on YouTube about this. Somebody's. I don't know who it was. Okay. It was a girl. That's all I can tell you. And she was saying that, why is it that we always blame the mother? Why is it that we always blame the black woman? I'm like, I'm sorry. In this case,
the mother was there with her.
And I understood her point. The black woman is not always the be all end all of it all. She's not always the fault of everything. And she was saying that black women don't, now we date black white men and we starting to forget our blackness and this, that, and other. And that's what she was saying. That's what everybody's saying. Okay. And we not woke. And so I understood her point. But unfortunately, in this particular situation, the black mama's at fault because the black mama allowed this little girl to believe that this white man was her dad. I don't care if he was a black man. You allowed a little girl to believe that this man is her father who's not her father. And then the only reason you tell her is because that he's not her father is because he's dead. Number one, you screwed up right then and
Why
there.
not just keep the lie going?
Right.
Like, who's gonna prove you wrong at that point?
You messed up there. One, you let this little girl know, hey, this is not your biological father, but this is the man who loves you, who raised you, who's raising you, who wants to be a part of your life. I would rather know that than a lie, quite frankly. And then on top of that, at some point in there, even if it wasn't 5, even if it was 14, 15, at some point you saw that she was turning off to her black side. You black. Why are you not teaching her that she's black? Because no matter what she said, in order for her to be white, her mama couldn't have been black. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how are you not teaching her heritage?
The fact that we can look at her and tell.
I don't care about looking at her.
I'm saying the fact that we can look at her
what
and
I
see
care about is the fact that she said, I'm white in my blood. No, baby, you're not. Even if your dad was white, you still have black blood in your veins.
And whether you want to admit it or not, you got black features.
There you go.
Whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And I said she must not have. If this has been going on since the age of 5, if we want to pretend that this is a real story, I'll go with you.
I'm just saying what I see.
If we want to say that she's been feeling this way since the age of 5, she's never been around black people, period. Because having the type of animosity towards black people and spewing this type of hatred, you would have got your ass whooped a long time ago.
But see, that's just it. She claims she wasn't around black people.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't have been in feeling this way. And
right.
then the girl that the video of the girl who alleges that she's Treasure's sister, she's black, and I'm like, you ain't whoop your sister ass.
Well, see, on the show, she didn't have a sister; she just had a brother.
Once the sister found out what was going on, she made an Instagram. She went on live on Instagram and made a video.
See, I don't know because the show, the mama even talks about it. She only has 2 kids. Her brother doesn't feel anything like that. So. If this is true, and
if this is true, because we don't know.
The only reason I don't believe it's not true is just because Dr.
You got faith in Dr. Phil.
No, he doesn't have that kind of history. If he had that kind of history, then I would be like, okay, yeah, it probably is fake because this don't even sound real. But he just doesn't have that kind of history. That's the only reason.
I would have passed on this story if I were Dr. Phil because nothing about it is real. Seems real. It's so far-fetched to me.
It is very far-fetched.
It's dumb. And the fact that Dr. Phil they may be real stories, but they're still sensationalized and they still are stupid.
That's true.
This being a fake story and him putting it on, that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
It would surprise me
because of the type of stories he put out there.
It would just surprise me if he knew it was fake.
Now what I didn't say is that he knew that it was fake. Because I don't know that he knew that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would surprise me if they knew it was, if the Dr. Phil show knew it was fake. Now, if it comes out and they didn't know, then I would be more apt to believe it because it doesn't sound real. But it is what it is. The little girl need a butt beat, and that's okay because she in the hood now. And
is she?
Yeah, that was the problem. Her mama moved them out from the white neighborhood that they were living in after her stepfather died.
Uh-huh.
She couldn't afford it, and they moved her into. I'm assuming it is the hood because the way she's talking about these black people,
but
it can't be a suburban spot where. Cause she talking about them like they all out killing each other. They don't kill each other in my neighborhood. And the only place I can think of, and when I say the hood, I'm not talking about any particular race at that point. I'm talking about just the inner city, and that's only the crime rate is always higher in the inner city, 9 times out of 10, because unfortunately the impoverished live in the inner city. That's where it's cheapest because that is the oldest part of the city. Suburban areas are newer, and it's harder. It costs more to get out in those areas. That's the only reason. But I don't know. And then I think, where the hell did she move this little girl to that it ain't nothing but black people? Because I don't know. Even in the inner city, it's white people all over.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Yeah, it's white folk in the hood. Maybe that's the only people she visit.
It sure is a lot of white people in the hood too, and half of them more hood than black people.
Mm-hmm. You got black people running from the hood because of that.
Right. The Catch Me Outside girl is in the hood.
And a lot of people are thinking that this is the type of come up she is wanting to have from being on Dr. Phil.
She gonna get her ass beat. That's all I know. She gonna. If I could have reached in that TV and grabbed her and yanked her, I'd have shook the crap out of her. Her and Megyn Kelly. How she gonna sit up and say it was okay back when she was a kid, which couldn't have been no more than 20, 40 years ago?
Because she probably didn't know. Maybe 20, 30 years ago, nobody was posting these photos of them in blackface, so people got away with it. And so a white person who don't care about black people or their plight wouldn't care or know that it's an issue. But to say it in 2018, when you see the backlash that everybody else is getting from wearing blackface, I wouldn't be surprised if she hasn't even reported on the story of somebody wearing blackface getting terminated, even politicians getting caught in blackface and facing backlash. So I feel like it was an ignorant statement. And then what I didn't expect was for her to face the type of backlash to the point of her losing her show. I didn't expect that.
Didn't they know who she was when they hired her?
When you got her from Fox News, you should have known. Well, we knew who she was.
She said she's made comments like this before. Not specifically this comment, but she said Santa Claus was white.
Yeah.
Told all the little kids, I'm sorry, but Santa Claus is white. Santa Claus ain't real, lady.
Well, they got to perpetuate this whiteness, so.
Jesus is white. She said that. No, well, Jesus was a Jew, number one. And when you read the Bible in his description, it is not that white man on the poster.
That's Jesus the deal.
So,
and to a lot of people too.
It's just.
I thought, she'd maybe take a week off and then come back.
I'm glad her butt is out.
They had that little show with Roland Martin trying to educate her, which I'm sure she didn't need to be educated because she's an educated woman.
Roland Martin didn't even need to waste his time.
It was a waste of time. And I think that was their way of trying to spin this thing and turn it around a little bit. Why are we always the ones to try and save?
No, that's it right there. I think when they call Roland Martin, he just should have said, "No, I'm not doing that." She know better. She know better, and y'all know better. Y'all need to fix y'all's own mess. I'm not getting ready to get involved in that stuff. Just like that politician when Obama was running, I think the first time had the nerve to start calling him a tar baby. And I didn't know that was racist. It's like your old ass was probably one of the people who said it. Are you kidding me?
One of the originators of the statement. It's just
I'm so over it.
Playing this false victim, this false ignorance.
I'm so
because they know exactly what they're doing.
And I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. So I'm gonna prove I'm over it Tuesday when I vote.
November the 6th.
Getting up 6 a.m. And I don't do 6 a.m. It's dark.
It is
at
dark.
6 a.m. I will get up at 6 a.m., get myself dressed. I'm going to get in my car and drive. Y'all know I don't get in my car and drive nowhere, especially in the midst of rush hour.
Yeah, you drive to the gym. That's close. That's close.
But that's after rush hour, too.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not really after rush hour, but rush hour in my neighborhood is after.
But you do, it's important. You know it.
And it's 2 minutes away.
I'm so thankful that we have early voting. I went to the election office. I was in and out in like 3 minutes.
I was trying to think of a way I could lie and say I wasn't going to be here so I could vote. I wish, but I'm going to be out in that line.
Hey, be out
if
in
it's
line,
raining,
no
if it's snowing, I'll take 5 blankets. If it's cold, I'll be out in that line. I already told them people I work with, I'm not going to be here until I vote. And one of them had the nerve to tell me, well, we can only give you 30 extra minutes. It's like, nope, you best to read the bylines and read the laws in Missouri. You got to give me 3 hours. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ain't nobody getting ready to stop me from casting my vote to get these whack-a-moles out of the office.
So that's their initial offering, 30 extra minutes.
because in the state, my company is nationwide, so we deal with people in every state.
But
in
you
the
would think that she was
Kansas, in the state of Kansas, it is 30 minutes, and my office is out of Kansas, and I think that's where it was a little bit of confusion.
Okay.
But you vote by where you live, not where you work.
Right.
So they have to go off the state I live in, and I live in Missouri. And in Missouri, what the state of Kansas is, you get 3 hours, period. And if you got 3 hours off work, then they don't have to give you anything. But the way
before the polls close.
Yeah. the way I come in, I only have 2.5 hours before or 2.5 hours after. So since it don't equal 3 in Kansas, they would only have to give me 30 minutes. Okay. But in the state of Missouri, it's no, you get 3 hours with pay. And see, some states don't pay. But the state of Missouri is 3 hours with pay. Believe me, I went and I pulled it up and I read it. And I was like, okay, I didn't think I was crazy because I've never worked anywhere where it's ever been a problem. I've always worked in radio and television. So this is new for me to be outside of radio and television. And I tell them people, it's snowing. I'll be in there after rush hour. Okay. Or I don't feel good. I'm not coming in. I'm working from home. Okay. And I mean, that's all it was. It was
freedom and that flexibility.
Freedom. And that I don't have that anymore. I'm not used to that. And so when I say I'm going to vote, it was never, you got 3 hours. No, it was like, okay, we'll see you when you get here. And then I'd come in and I voted, doing my little voting dance, and they just laughing at me. That's just the way it was. But now it's like, no, you got to be here. You got to be here. I'm like, y'all need to chill out, take a chill pill. So, and like, I got to go in there. I don't go in there, but, so I'll get up in the morning and I'll be there. And if it's 4 hours sitting, waiting to vote, which I kind of hope it is. I hope I'm out there for a while. I remember the first time Obama ran, that was it 2008.
Yep.
I was in that line for 2.5 hours and we was outside and it was cold. But, we was all cuddled up and wrapped in blankets, and somebody from one of the little people who walk around and pass out the little flyers when you get to the polls, they had hot cocoa and coffee and was passing it out to everybody, and they would go in and get more and bring it out because they didn't want us to leave.
Right.
And like, so
that's smart.
I stayed there.
Because, you leave. If people leave, they're likely not coming back.
Right. And in my neighborhood, they always, we are going to make sure all y'all vote. Question with 1 year, one of my little cousins who lives in the same area, she had moved and they didn't change her address, so she wasn't registered correctly. And they was like, oh, no, baby, you're not leaving here without voting. Come on over here. And they slide it to the side. And it's a whole bunch of old black women, so they feeling like your grandma now. Come on, baby, we going to get you in. And they got her in and she voted. She was able to vote. That's my neighborhood. They make sure you vote if you're eligible in that neighborhood to vote. They make sure you vote. And some places are, unfortunately, are not like that. Some places are, Oprah told that the story of, I can't even remember his name now, the black man that went to try to vote, and he walked miles and miles and miles for hours and hours and hours. He gets there and they tell him that he can't vote. It's the wrong place. And he goes and he walks to the other place and he gets there and it's too late. And then the next year he died before he could vote again. He never got to vote. And yet and still we don't go vote. Voting is a privilege, and it's a privilege that we got to remember we didn't have just a short time ago. And it's like, and we still sit here, it's not important to vote. You better take your ass to the polls. Because if you don't vote at this point, after everything that's been going on, if you don't vote, and as far as I'm concerned, if you don't vote the right way, then you crazy. You deserve every single little thing that's about to happen to you, because you cannot have missed this. There is not a person on the face of the earth that has missed this. My grandma ain't missed this, and all she watch is Jimmy Swaggart.
Oh,
that's all she watch.
You sure? I thought he passed away.
I don't know. Maybe it's Joel Osteen. Yeah. She watched one of the two of them all dang on day long. Had nerve to tell my auntie today she was gonna watch a Chiefs football game.
Okay.
I'm like, you ain't seen a football game since you was 16 years old. But get out and vote.
Tuesday.
We don't want to see. 6th. We want to make sure that the people that do the bad things, like the man that shot up the synagogue and the man that sent all the bombs to all the people, we want to make sure they get their punishment and they don't get off on mental illness. We want to make sure that wrong is wrong and wrong is defined as wrong. But we also want to make sure we got health care. And stop letting these Republicans tell you that they for pre-existing conditions and pre-existing conditions, because
they've been fighting it tooth and nail.
All you got to do is go back to 2 years ago and all the ads that were running. All you got to do is go back to 2 years ago when Trump said the first thing he was doing was getting rid of Obamacare and pre-existing conditions. Don't let them fool you. Oh no. Anywho, let's just vote. Vote. I cannot say it enough. Vote. And if you don't vote, I'm gonna talk about you like a dog next week. Anywho, just to let you guys know, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. We got a lot to do, and when we come back, well, we'll hopefully have a new Congress. Hopefully. Or we gonna be in the same old rut. And I'm done talking to you people about politics. Well,
and can y'all even believe that?
I'm done trying to get you people out to vote and to listen and to figure it out. I am trying to educate as much as I can with what little I know.
Right.
I got to go teach my auntie how to search for judges. I'll see y'all later.
Peace.